My beloved child, stop scrolling. This message is not an accident. The day hath been long again, hasn't it? You've carried so much in silence. The half-finished prayers, the quiet comparisons, the moments when you tried to stay grateful but still felt that hollow ache beneath your smile. You have done your best to keep walking even when the path seemed uncertain. Heaven saw it all. I, Michael, speak gently now, not as a distant light but as a friend sitting beside you in the quiet. The night is not your enemy. It is the veil through which dawn prepares to enter. You are not forgotten. You are not behind. You are not being punished for your faith taking longer than you hoped. What you call delay has been divine rearrangement. What you call silence had been sacred construction behind the scenes. The universe, your angels, the very currents of God's breath, all have been aligning threads of timing that the human mind cannot yet see. And tonight, this 11th of November, the veil between waiting and receiving is thinner than usual. When you see 1111, it is not coincidence, it is language. A coded reminder that you are standing at a divine doorway. The numbers mirror one another like twin pillars, marking a passage from one season into the next. You may feel weary standing here, perhaps even numb, but beloved, the light gathering on the horizon is for you. When the world told you to move faster, heaven whispered, "Be still, your hour is forming." When you questioned whether the promise you once felt was only imagination, heaven responded, "No, it was preview." And now, the preview becomes unfolding. You have walked through days when prayers bounced back like echoes. You have looked at other people's progress and asked, "What about me?" And even that honest ache, heaven counts it as faith, not failure. You stayed open enough to care. You kept showing up even when you didn't feel inspired. That is what built the ground for the next chapter. So now, at the close of this day, breathe with me. Toli. Yibi. Feel your chest rise. The air entering not just your lungs but your life again. Let the tension soften at the cores of your jaw. Let your shoulders drop as though invisible armor slides away. You do not have to make anything happen tonight. The 1111 portal is not a demand. It is an invitation. Heaven moves not through panic but through peace. You are stepping into a frequency of alignment, not because you forced it, but because you endured long enough to meet it. What's coming will not ask you to strain the way you used to. It will fit. It will flow. It will find you ready. And though your body may feel tired, something new within you is beginning to wake. That quiet flicker of curiosity, of possibility, that is your confirmation. The tide has turned. Do not rush to figure it all out. Do not measure how close you are. Just rest in this knowing. The same presence that carried you through every night will carry you into this dawn. Let tonight be the turning point, not by your effort, but by your agreement to believe again. Whisper this with me if you wish. I am not too late. I am not behind. My time is aligning perfectly. Heaven has remembered me. Now breathe again and feel the peace return. You are exactly where you need to be at 1111, the gateway between old endurance and new ease. Sleep, dear one, with this truth resting gently over your heart. Your manifestations have not been lost, only preparing to arrive faster than you imagine. Beloved, lean closer a moment. Let me untangle something heavy that has been sitting in the back of your mind, this fear that you are late. Late to your calling, late to love, late to success, late to healing, late to the life you were sure you'd be living by now. I have heard you think, even if you never said it out loud, I should be further along. Everyone else is passing me, yet I miss my moment. Hear me clearly tonight. No, you did not. When 11:11 appears before your eyes, on the clock, on a receipt, in a message, blowing softly in the middle of an ordinary moment, it is not there to scold you for being off track. It is a signal that you are more aligned than your fear wants you to believe. These four ones, standing like pillars, they say, you and heaven are in conversation. They say, stay awake. Something is weaving in your favor. They say, right place, right soul, right time, even if your mind can't see it yet. You measure your life in dates, milestones, birthdays, deadlines. Heaven measures your life in becoming. There are no wasted years here, only years that laid foundations in ways you didn't recognize. The relationship that broke you, it trained your spirit to recognize real love. The job that drained you, it carved in you a hunger for meaningful, aligned work. A move that didn't happen. It preserved you from standing where your spirit would have withered. The prayer still unanswered. He is not forgotten in a corner of the divine mind. It is on the table, being completed with details you would have never known to request. If you could see the full blueprint, you would stop blaming yourself for every seeming delay. My beloved, many of the timelines you thought you missed were never yours. It belonged to the expectations of others, to the loudness of culture, to comparison's cruel voice. You outgrew those paths, even while you thought you were failing. 11:11 arrives like a gentle bell, ringing through the noise. Return to your timing. Return to your covenant with God. Return to trust that your story is not measured against anyone else's clock. You are not the one lagging behind. You are the one being customized. Some lives are microwaved. Yours is being marinated. Depth takes time. Roots take time. Strong foundations take time. And now, the numbers begin to show because alignment is happening more frequently. You see, alignment is not perfection. Alignment is sincerity. Alignment is when your inner yes and heaven's whisper begin to match. You align when you choose kindness over bitterness for one more day. You align when you sit in honesty instead of pretending you're fine. You align when you refuse to curse your life, even when you're confused. You align when you say, I still believe there is more for me, even with a trembling voice. That is why this portal speaks over you now. You are not late. You are right on time for what belongs to you. Release the panic of catching up. Release the torment that says, if it hasn't happened by now, it never will. Release the timeline you built from fear and comparison. Breathe with me here. My path is mine. My timing is sacred. I have not missed my destiny. I walk in step with divine order. Let those words wrap around the sore parts of your heart. I, Michael, stand guard over your journey. I do not see a failure. I see a soul arriving, steadily, bravely, at doors that are finally ready to open. You are not behind, beloved. You are at the threshold. When you see 11:11 next, let it be your reminder, I am not running out of time. Time is aligning with me. Beloved, tonight we walk into the quiet space, the one between the prayer and the promise, the waiting room of heaven, the season that seems like nothing is happening. You've known this place well. You've looked around and thought, has heaven gone silent? Did I do something wrong? You've prayed, and then you've heard only the hum of ordinary life. No voice, no clear sign, no sudden door opening. And it hurts. But I must tell you the truth in a gentleness that does not rush you. What looks still is not empty. When a seed is planted, it is buried in darkness. From the surface, it seems dead, forgotten under layers of earth. But beneath the soil, there is trembling, splitting, soft breaking, holy pressure. The seed's outer shell cracks so life can expand. You must say quite for the sacred cows to work itself into form. That is you, beloved. You have not been forgotten. You have been planted. The hidden work of heaven is not punishment. It is protection. Your angels have been rearranging people, moments, and timing to fit your blessing so perfectly that, when it lands, you will say, it had to happen this way. Right now, it might look like delay. But what if delay is the divine version of construction? Would you rather live in a half-built home or wait until the walls are strong enough to shelter you for a lifetime? Heaven is not withholding, it is preparing. The unseen months, the quiet, in between stretches where you thought nothing was moving, were full of blueprint work. Connections being whispered into place. Healing rising up in others who must meet you whole. Wounds within you closing so they no longer bleed into your future. Even your exhaustion had purpose. You are learning the rhythm of surrender, not defeat, but deep alignment with divine timing. I have watched you try to make doors open before they were ready. You've pulled, pushed, prayed harder, tried again, only to feel resistance. That resistance was mercy, not rejection. It said, not yet. The floorboards are still drying. There is no wasted labor here. Every tear watered the soil. Every disappointment loosened what could not stay. And yes, even your doubt called angels closer, not farther. If you could see what I see tonight, threads of light weaving around your name, resources shifting, people waking from their own healing, opportunities circling nearer, you would stop questioning whether anything is happening. Something is happening. It's just happening in the invisible first. You are not behind schedule. You are inside preparation. Do not despise it. The unseen work holds the most sacred power because it grows your faith when you cannot see results. Let yourself whisper this prayer if you wish. Even when I cannot see it, something good is growing from me. I trust the work beneath the surface. My waiting is not wasted. When dawn finally comes, it will not apologize for how long the night took. It will simply rise, steady and certain, as if it was always on its way because it was. And so, too, is your manifestation. My beloved child, you are not doing this alone. Even now, your angels stand close. Call on us, not with ritual, not with perfection, but with sincerity. A whisper is enough. Help me hold on a little longer. And we will. Beloved, take a breath before we step further. Let your shoulders drop. Let the weight that has sat on your spirit all these months begin to soften. There is something I want to clear from your energy tonight. Something quiet but heavy. The belief that you are cursed, that nothing works out for you no matter how hard you try. You've whispered it before, haven't you? Why does it always take longer for me? Why do I start with hope and end up disappointed? You've watched others receive with ease while you wrestled in silence. And a tiny, painful thought has said, maybe something is wrong with me. Beloved, I speak now in the voice of truth. You are not cursed. You are chosen for a slower, deeper kind of unfolding, one that must last, not just flash. There hath been energy around you, fear, old words, ancestral struggle that told the story of limitation. But those stories are not your identity. They are simply layers being peeled away. Every struggle has served as a teacher, not a sentence. You have walked through cycles of almost love, almost breakthrough, almost relief, and each time it closed just before fulfillment. You felt shame rise up like smoke. But those almosts were not proof of unworthiness. They were heaven's way of guarding you from smaller versions of what you asked for. You were never being denied. You were being upgraded. I, Michael, have stood beside you each time the door closed, even when you cried, why? I saw what you couldn't. The trap hidden behind the glitter, the path that would have shrunk your light, the people not yet ready for your sincerity. Beloved, release the pattern of blaming yourself for divine redirection. Every no was a yes in disguise. Every pause was preparation for permanence. When you begin to see delays not as curses but as calibrations, your energy shifts. The heaviness begins to melt. You become lighter, magnetic again, open for acceleration. So tonight, I invite you to lay down the identity of the struggler. You do not have to earn blessings through exhaustion. You do not have to prove your worthiness by surviving storms forever. Heaven already declared you worthy before you took your first breath. Your worth is not on probation. Let this declaration move through you now. I am not cursed. I am protected. I am not unlucky. I'm aligning. My story is turning in my favor. Feel that truth loosen the old knots in your chest. Let tears come if they need to. Tears are not weakness. They are cleansing. The energy of delay, that anxious waiting, that looping thought of what if it never happens, begins to dissolve as you release the idea that heaven is withholding. When you know you are loved, waiting becomes resting. Beloved, tonight Archangel Michael's sword cuts through the cords of shame, unworthiness, and self-condemnation. They fall away now. You are free to rise again without guilt, without fear of another collapse. You are stepping into new momentum, not through striving, but through release. When you stop carrying what never belonged to you, speed returns naturally. Your manifestations are not blocked. They were simply waiting for you to stop believing you were broken. And now that you are remembering the truth of who you are, light, loved, divinely designed, acceleration begins. Widely, Julie, beloved, lean in. This is the part where stillness begins to move. For a long time, the air around you has felt like pause, prayers pending, promises parked somewhere beyond reach. But there comes a sacred hour when heaven whispers a single word that changes everything. Now. Not because you finally became perfect. Not because you finally did enough. But because all the invisible alignments, the people, places, and timing have clicked quietly into place. And heaven, in its wisdom, decides it's safe to let acceleration begin. You may feel it before you see it, a gentle stirring in your spirit, a sense that something is about to give. The same routines begin to feel too small, conversations shift tone, old frustrations lose their grip. These are the early tremors of breakthrough, subtle signals that divine movement is near. When heaven says now, the timeline that once stretched before you begins to compress. Things that should have taken years may take weeks. Doors that never open suddenly swing wide. Conversations you thought were lost return with fresh opportunity. What seemed too big for you becomes light, almost effortless. This is not coincidence. It's convergence. Every not yet you endured becomes part of the momentum that propels you forward. Every lesson you learned under pressure becomes the wisdom you will need to sustain your blessings. Nothing was wasted, not even your frustration. Sometimes the shift is visible, a job offer, a financial turn, an answered prayer. Other times, it begins in the quiet, peace where there used to be panic, forgiveness where there was resentment, courage where there was fear. Those inner shifts are manifestation. They are the spiritual signs that the outer is on its way. Beloved, heaven does not rush, but when heaven moves, it is swift. Sudden restoration, sudden favor, sudden understanding. All these are born in the now moment. And you, precious one, are entering that field of divine immediacy. This 1111 energy, this alignment of light and intention, is not magic, it is resonance. It means your heart's frequency and divine timing are humming the same note. And when that happens, reality responds. So if the days ahead bring unexpected acceleration, a message, a door, a reconnection, do not be afraid. You are not imagining it. You are witnessing heavens now. You have already done the groundwork. You have healed, forgiven, released, waited, rebuilt, and prayed when you didn't feel heard. All that persistence was preparation for this moment. Imagine the earth after long rain, how it suddenly bursts into bloom once the sun returns. That is you now. The season of underground waiting is giving way to visible growth. You may ask, but what if I'm not ready? Beloved, you are. You've been becoming ready in every quiet yes, every surrendered tear. Your readiness is not in your confidence, it is in your openness. Heaven uses open hearts, not perfect ones. So take this moment and whisper it softly. I align with heavens now. I allow blessings to find me with ease. I welcome acceleration that feels like peace. There is no more chasing. There is no more proving. Only alignment. Only trust. The gears of your life are turning quietly, but powerfully into motion. What was once delayed is now divinely timed. And the same God who held you through the silence now ushers you gently into unfolding. This is the moment when your endurance meets grace, the quiet crossing from waiting into receiving. Beloved, here is a gentle secret. Alignment is not complicated. It is not a race toward perfection or a list of rules to memorize. It is a quiet conversation between your heart and heaven that says, I am willing to walk with the light I have today. You have been told that great change demands massive effort, that to see transformation, you must push, hustle, and constantly manifest with intensity. But true divine alignment happens through peaceful participation, not through force, but through gentle agreement. It begins with one small yes. One decision to forgive instead of replaying the hurt. One moment of choosing rest instead of panic. One sincere prayer whispered through tears, help me trust again. That single act of openness shifts currents around you faster than you realize. The heavens multiply small obediences. When you clean one corner of your space, energy begins to move. When you send one message you've been guided to send, doors begin to unlock. When you drink water, stretch, or breathe deeply instead of rushing into fear, heaven notes it all as readiness. Because your actions tell the universe, I believe good is worth making room for. This is how acceleration feels in truth, light, natural, gentle. Beloved, don't worry if you don't always feel strong. You were never asked to be unshakable. You were asked to be sincere. When you wake tomorrow, alignment may look as simple as listening, pausing before reacting, noticing what brings peace, following that peace like a compass. If peace expands when you think of something, move closer to it. If peace contracts, step back. Heaven will never guide you through panic. Divine instruction always feels like calm clarity. You do not have to overhaul your entire life tonight. Just take the next right step, one small obedience in the direction of faith. The rest will follow. Sometimes alignment is also silence, staying still when your instinct is to fix everything. There is alignment in waiting. There is alignment in allowing the unseen to unfold without interference. Remember, the same power that formed galaxies responds to gentle faith. You see now, beloved, why the 11:11 moment is holy. Because when you pause to notice it, you are reminded that even small awarenesses create large ripples. You are reminded that life is not random, and neither are you. So tonight, choose one small act that mirrors the life you are calling in. If you desire peace, light a candle and sit with yourself in quiet. If you desire abundance, give something small with joy, a kind word, a gesture, a dollar. If you desire love, speak gently to yourself before sleep. Heaven does not measure by scale. Heaven measures by heart. And as you move through these simple, sacred motions, you will notice something beautiful. Things begin to shift without strain. Calls return. Ideas flow. Opportunities arise at the right time without chasing. That is alignment. That is co-creation. That is the peace you've been seeking, the peace that magnetizes blessings naturally. Whisper with me, beloved. Before you rest tonight, I align with ease. I trust small steps to open great doors. I am guided, supported, and safe in divine flow. The universe hears that frequency. The angels move through it. And your life begins to echo the harmony of heaven itself. Beloved, rest your heart in this truth before the night grows deeper. You are not walking unguarded. Every step you take, even when you feel utterly alone, is surrounded by light, by the steady vigilance of the heavenly host who travel with you. When your body stirs from sleep in the small hours, when your heart aches from what it cannot yet see, the circle of protection still stands. You have feared that you are vulnerable to harm, to betrayal, to unseen forces that wish to undo your progress. You have wondered if the world's heaviness could break your spirit for good. I tell you gently, no. The same power that stitched the constellations watches over your path. The same presence that called you to hope again has not left your side. When I, Michael, draw near, I come not with thunder but with a calm shield of light. That light is not outside of you, it blooms from within, because divine protection begins in remembrance. You remember who you are, a spark of the eternal, not a target of darkness. You remember that fear cannot dwell where faith is chosen. You remember that every time you invoke light, light answers. Let us pause here. Breathe softly. Inhale peace, exhale tension. Imagine a quiet radiance expanding from your chest until it fills the room. This is not imagination, it is alignment. You are meeting the energy that has always been assigned to you. The shadows that tried to convince you of isolation were only testing whether you knew your strength. You do now. Nothing meant for your destruction can find you when you stand in awareness of this covering. You are not fragile. You are fortified. Each morning, as you wake, your angels move before you, clearing paths, softening hearts, deflecting confusion. Each night, as you sleep, we keep watch, weaving rest into your cells so you may rise renewed. Even the delays you thought were spiritual opposition were often divine redirection, shielding you from rooms not worthy of your light. You have survived things that once seemed unbearable, haven't you? That is proof of the unseen guard that travels with you. Protection is not only defense, it is guidance. It steers you toward the places where your spirit will flourish. It whispers when to step back, when to speak up, when to wait. The more you listen, the more you feel our nearness. There is no need to be afraid of what others carry, or of what the future holds. The light around you is intelligent. It knows how to protect, redirect, and heal. Your task is simply to stay in harmony with that light, by choosing peace, by refusing bitterness, by remembering that love is your truest armor. If you ever feel the heaviness return, call quietly, Archangel Michael, surround me in light. Protect my home, my heart, and my hope. Even before the words leave your lips, we answer. Even before you finish the prayer, the air begins to settle. Because, beloved, you were never meant to fight alone. Your strength is mighty, but your help is greater still. So rest tonight knowing this: no weapon of darkness holds a claim on your destiny. No envy, no betrayal, no fear can undo what heaven has ordained. You are protected not because you are untouchable, but because you are loved. And love is the strongest fortress there is. Let that truth cradle you now. Let the light stand guard at your door, at your mind, and at your dreams. You are surrounded. You are safe. You are seen. Beloved, come closer. We are standing now at the edge of the promise. You have waited, healed, released, trusted, surrendered. And now heaven whispers, soon. I don't know. There is a shift in the air tonight. Can you feel it? It is subtle, like the soft press of dawn against your window before the light breaks through. Something long in the making is beginning to move toward you. And it will come faster than you imagine. But not with chaos. Not with overwhelm. Acceleration in divine timing feels like peace arriving quickly. Like answers fitting themselves into place with ease. Like realizing one morning that what you prayed for months ago is now normal life. You see, beloved, heaven is not random in its pacing. When preparation meets divine alignment, time itself bends to purpose. What once seemed far away, too distant, too impossible, begins to fold inward, collapsing the gap between hope and reality. Do not be afraid of this speed. You have grown to expect long battles, so when grace comes easily, it can feel strange. You might even look for what's wrong, wondering, how can it be happening this fast? It's happening fast because you are ready. You have unclenched your grip on control. You have forgiven where bitterness blocked flow. You have spoken blessings instead of complaints. You have rested when your soul was tired. Those quiet, faithful choices cleared the channel. Now, manifestations move freely along that path, not as a reward but as a reflection. The universe is simply matching your healed vibration. Some of what is on its way will surprise you. Messages you thought would never come. Finances released without struggle. Opportunities appearing through kindness, not competition. Health stabilizing, joy returning, energy restoring. These are the fruits of alignment, and they unfold naturally once the heart no longer resists its own goodness. But acceleration does not mean frenzy. You do not have to chase what is already chasing you. You only have to stay open, steady, humble, expectant, grounded. When the call arrives, answer with calm gratitude. When the offer comes, receive it with peace. When the healing lands, breathe it in without disbelief. Because, beloved, this time it's real. This time it lasts. This time you have grown into the version of yourself who can hold the blessing without fear of losing it. So if you sense that the next weeks or months may move quickly, trust that. Do not resist expansion because of memories of disappointment. Those were old seasons. This is the one that stays. Take a deep breath now and whisper, I am ready for good things to arrive easily. I am ready for answers to appear swiftly. I am ready for miracles that feel like peace. Yes, beloved, that frequency moves mountains. Time hears it. Matter rearranges itself to match it. The same angels who walked you through slow years are now guiding you into acceleration. What was forming invisibly will soon appear tangibly, and it will feel both sudden and inevitable, as though it was always meant for you. Let joy not startle you. Let peace not confuse you. This is the rhythm of answered prayer. If your heart says yes to this, place your hand upon your chest and whisper, I receive what is truly mine, in the right way, at the right time. And know that as you do, the heavens lean closer. You are not hoping alone. We are already moving on your behalf. Beloved, rest your heart here a moment. The light is growing again inside you this time. You have spent years learning to survive, learning to make peace with lack, learning to stay humble when what you needed seemed far away. But heaven wants to remind you, wanting more does not make you ungrateful. There is no shame in longing for the fullness of life that was promised to you. To desire love, stability, laughter, abundance, health, these are not selfish cravings. They are echoes of divine design. You were made in the image of endlessness. Of course you dream of expansion. Do not confuse exhaustion with humility. You are allowed to want a gentle life. You are allowed to want to thrive. It is not rebellion to reach toward what God already intended for you. Somewhere along the way, pain taught you to shrink, to play small, to silence your own hopes so disappointment wouldn't find you again. But beloved, safety does not live in shrinking. It lives in truth. And the truth is this: your strength never left you. Even in your weakest seasons, you still chose to get up, to love, to try, to believe. That was strength disguised as survival. Now it is time for strength to become joy. Time for your inner fire to burn not in defense but in creation. The days ahead are calling for a steadier version of you, one that remembers that gentleness and power can live in the same heart. When I, Michael, look at you, I see resilience that astonishes heaven. I see the nights you cried but didn't curse your life. I see the mornings you rose when you had no reason but faith. Those choices built muscles the world cannot see. You are not weak for wanting relief. You are not faithless for asking for help. You are not selfish for dreaming of a home where you finally exhale. There is nothing unholy about desiring a life that feels like peace. That longing is sacred. It is the divine within you remembering what harmony feels like. Beloved, Your strength is not measured by how much pain you can endure. It's measured by how much hope you dare to keep alive in the dark. And you have kept it flickering, maybe, but alive. That flame is enough to ignite miracles. Let yourself believe that softness does not erase your strength. You can rest and still be powerful. You can cry and still be victorious. You can ask for better and still be grateful for now. The angels who walk with you never expected you to be fearless, they only asked you to stay open. And you have. So now, as your life begins to accelerate, as doors open, as blessings arrive, lift your head again. Not in pride, but in remembrance. You made it here. You grew through everything meant to break you. And that growth is the reason your blessings can now stay. The version of you that is rising knows boundaries, knows rest, knows joy, knows how to protect peace without guilt. That is strength. That is divine maturity. Breathe in that truth tonight and speak it softly with me. I am not weak for wanting more. I am strong enough to receive it. I am worthy of ease, love, and overflow. Let the word settle deep. You are not becoming stronger, you already are. You are simply remembering. And as you remember, the world around you begins to mirror that strength back. Opportunities that once ignored you now recognize you. Love that once passed you by now meets you where you stand. Peace that once seemed fleeting now lives within your daily rhythm. Beloved, you are not fragile, you are fortified by light. Your strength is gentle now, but it is steady, and it will carry you through every new horizon that unfolds from this 11:11 blessing. Beloved, take a slow breath. You have come far, so far that your spirit can finally feel what your mind has not yet named. You are nearing the threshold. I want to show you how to recognize it, so that when the first glimmers appear, you don't mistake them for coincidence or doubt their reality. The signs of arrival rarely shout. They whisper through peace. The quiet that doesn't feel empty. Where there was once restlessness, there is now stillness. You may notice you no longer feel desperate to make things happen. You are calm, even without full answers. That calm is not apathy, it is alignment. It means the universe is handling what you once had to force. Closed doors that don't sting. When opportunities or relationships end, and you feel relief instead of rejection, you are being released into right placement. This peace after a no is heaven's way of saying, you have graduated from needing this lesson. Synchronicity increased. 11:11 on clocks, 111 on receipts, feathers in your path, lyrics that echo your private prayers. These are not random, they are confirmation. Heaven is tracing light around you, marking the path that leads home to your blessing. The sudden urge to simplify. You start cleaning, deleting, organizing, clearing. This is not restlessness, it's preparation. And space is being made for what is on its way. Heaven cannot fill a room that is already full of yesterday's clutter, emotional or physical. People shifting around you. Some drift away quietly, others appear out of nowhere with purpose. Don't cling, and don't fear the new. Heaven rearranges relationships to ensure you are surrounded by resonance, not resistance. Inner clarity replacing confusion. Answers begin to surface naturally. You just know things, what to choose, where to go, what to release. That knowing is your intuition syncing with divine order. Small manifestations appearing easily. The parking space, the kind word, the money you needed showing up at the last minute. These small graces are previews. The universe is showing you its language of yes in miniature form so your faith can expand to receive the larger ones. Rest returning to your body. Till you feel deeper. Breathe easier. Even your face may soften. Your body always knows when the battle is ending. It begins to unwind before the mind catches up. A holy impatience. Not frustration, but a rising energy that says, I know something's near. This is the vibration of acceleration humming through your spirit. When you feel it, don't panic. Smile. You are sensing motion. Gratitude that arrives without reason. You start saying thank you for things that haven't appeared yet. This is the highest signal to heaven that you trust the process. Gratitude is faith made audible. Beloved, these are not random signs. They are milestones of proximity. You are not chasing your manifestations, they are orbiting closer, drawn by your steadiness, your healing, your faithfulness through delay. Do not underestimate what happens when you simply stay open a little longer. The distance between prayer and answer has already begun to collapse. The angels are whispering now, you are closer than you think. Don't turn back at the door. So tonight, rest not in wondering if but in knowing when, and that when is soon. Whisper this softly. I am already within reach of what I prayed for. Every sign confirms my arrival. I walk in step with divine timing. And let the truth settle over your heart like a warm, quiet promise. You are almost there, beloved. The horizon you've longed for is beginning to rise right where you stand. Beloved, this is the gentle part, the doing that is not doing, the opening of your hands so what's meant for you can finally rest in them. The 1111 portal is not a ritual of performance. It is a moment of remembering. It is where faith meets form, where the unseen begins to glow at the edges. You do not need candles or crystals or long lists of affirmations, only presence. So let us walk through this together now, slowly, as the night folds around you. The breath of return. Close your eyes and take a slow breath in. Hold it for a count of 4. Let it go. Do this 3 times. Each exhale carries away the static of the day, the noise, the worry. Each inhale gathers peace, light, and clarity. Feel your body soften. Feel the ground hold you. You are safe. You are held. You are here. The release quietly. Think of what you are ready to hand back to heaven. The tension, the fear, the habit of overthinking. Whisper it, or simply imagine laying it down. See it dissolve in soft light. Say softly, I release what no longer serves my peace. I make room for what is already mine. The renewal. Place your hand on your heart. Feel the steady rhythm. This is the sound of promise continuing, even when you forgot to believe. Repeat gently, I align with love. I align with peace. I align with divine order. As you speak, imagine the light of 1111, 2 pillars, forming on either side of you, a gateway of gold and white radiance. Step through it in your mind, not rushing but floating in calm certainty. The vision in this calm. Picture one scene that represents your answered prayer, a healed relationship, a door finally open, a life that feels like rest. See yourself standing in that scene, not hoping for it, but living inside it. Notice how your body feels there. Peaceful, grateful. That feeling is your manifestation code. It is how heaven hears your yes. Hold it for a moment, then whisper, thank you. It is already unfolding. 5. The seal of rest. Let the image fade softly. Return to your breath. Let your shoulders drop again. Say quietly before sleep, what is for me is finding me now. I rest in divine timing. There. You have crossed the threshold, not through striving but through trust. The portal is open, not because of numbers, but because your heart aligned with them. And now, beloved, all that is meant for you begins to move in your direction. Swiftly, peacefully, precisely. Rest knowing that heaven is finishing what you began in faith. Beloved child, before this night folds fully around you, let me lay this blessing gently over your spirit. You have walked with me through remembrance, of waiting, of protection, of alignment, of the quiet courage it took to not give up on yourself. Now we seal it. 111. The whisper of new beginnings, divine alignment, the first flicker of yes in the dark. 144. The pattern completed, divine order established, what was promised taking form in fullness and stability. Tonight, I speak over you this passage from 111 to 144, from fragments to wholeness, from survival to safety, from hoping Sunday to seeing it unfold. You are no longer standing outside your life, beloved. You are inside the turning now. I cover your mind with peace. Let intrusive fear fall silent. I cover your heart with comfort. Let old grief loosen its hold. I cover your body with rest, deep, restoring, untangled sleep. I cover your home with light, every room held, every corner calm. What is for you is now in motion, circling nearer with clarity, with tenderness, with divine precision. You do not have to chase it. You will meet it as you walk in truth, one simple step at a time. If doubt returns, remember this: you are not forgotten. You are not behind. You are chosen for a story that holds. Receive this blessing now. I am sealed in light. My path is ordered. My blessings are protected. My heart is safe to hope again. Sleep, beloved, under the wings of this assurance. Dawn is already on its way. You are safe to hope again. When you feel unsure, call on us. We walk with you into the new, not as a distant promise, but as a present, unfolding reality.